What up, y'all? It's Marley. Ain't gonna do the long talking. We on the YouTube now, so y'all gonna see all the shit I be going through and how I be fixing it. You get what I'm saying? I ain't know I was gonna make this a thing, so I started recording late. But here's a video of me changing the power steering pump on my Jetta. Let's go. Okay, so I didn't record the whole disassembly because I didn't think I'd be making a video out of this. But that's the last bolt holding her in. And ooh, she's out. Oh, she's wet. And yeah. Side by side, this is the old one, so it's seized up, and this piece broke off. So I gotta tap that out. But nah, yeah, the pulley's still intact. OEM Volkswagen Audi pulley still intact. This is the remains of the old pump. Seized up, wasn't aware, and it just ripped itself apart. But yeah, that's the old one. This is a new one from FCP Euro. You know, I always get my parts from there. So all there is to do now is just take that pulley apart, throw it on here, throw it back on the car. I'm underneath because battery. I need to charge my phone, and I want to get as much footage as I can for you guys. So, quick tip: when you're changing the power steering pump, any type of belt-driven pump for that matter, from the factory, it is tested and lubricated. So so like right now, this has oil in it because you don't want to store it dry and then, you know, it begins to dry rot. So it's oil tested and sealed from the factory. This is an old car. Just need something to break it loose because I don't feel like getting up. Yeah, so before you install it, make sure, because it's oiled, but it's not oiled with power steering fluid. It's oiled with gear oil, or to keep it lubricated. So being that our cars, German in particular, they use a different type of power steering fluid, you don't really want to contaminate it with this, whatever this is they put in here. So you just let me try to get a, so you just hold it and then you spin it to push all of that stuff out. Ooh. Yeah. Fuck. Alright, this is not working out. Yeah, so not much is gonna come out because I actually did it last night. But Jesus Christ. But I still want to be able to show you guys, you know, how to do it if it needs to be done, you know. So you take off all the caps, the seals, spin it a little bit, you know, it'll push all of that old oil out. Then you just wipe it clean. Then you're ready to throw it in the car. Running low on battery. I'm gonna make it quick. Pump just goes right back into the same bracket. 3 bolts on this side, 2 on this side. I have everything just hand tightened, 13mm bolts. Yeah, so I'm just gonna tighten those and then we'll get to the next step. Right. Bolts are all secured, all tight. The next step would be to the top hose, the top line for the pump. This is from the pump to the rack itself. This one, it's, I believe it's called a banjo bolt. So what you want to do when you're reinstalling it, you make sure you have the bolt and you have one washer on top. Push it straight through. Add the next washer under, and then it's kind of hard. I don't know how these YouTubers record and do shit at the same time. So yeah, you put it there, and then you just if you ever smelt German power steering fluid. Oh my god, this shit makes me want to throw up. Oh, just went on my face. Nice. So it just leaked out from there. So you guys don't end up like me with stink ass power steering fluid in your face. Go ahead and connect this one first. This is from the reservoir straight to the pump. Obviously it's going to be difficult doing it with one hand, but simple. Just, you know, grab this with the pliers or vice grips, whichever. Open it up, slide it on, slide it up to the top here, lock it in. Right after you have both lines tightened, this one is just a clamp, this one is the banjo bolt. This one is a banjo bolt for the reason being that this bad boy, power steering pressure sensor, goes here. So once you get that bottom bolt in, you get the first bolt holding the hose in, you want to go ahead and replace your sensor, pressure sensor. Give me a second, I'll tighten it up. And it is this 2-pin connector right here. One thing about these German cars is very little space. So yeah, we just connect that up there. Let me grab the wrench, make sure it's what they call German tight, means until you can't turn no more. And yeah, so almost there to the end. The next step would be to attach the pulley. Couldn't do the pulley first because that would then block your access from the bolts to mount this. So it's three 6mm Phillips bolts. You know, I'm sorry, they're not Phillips, they're actually hex head bolts, real small. I'm actually gonna go ahead and grab some Loctite, throw that on there, and then tighten it up. All right, so once you get everything tightened down, the final step would be to replace the belt. Here I have the Continental belt. Make sure you get the right size belt because you don't want to have to go back and forth. It's kind of hard to show, but on this specific model, the pattern is crankshaft pulley, power steering pulley. It goes outside of the crankshaft pulley, outside of the power steering pulley, over to on top of the power steering pulley, going to the AC compressor, and then the last piece you connect will be at the top. It'll be the alternator, and then obviously, you know, you use a tensioner to wiggle it on there. So this is impossible to do while recording. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys when I'm done. So this I just moved out the way to get space. You're actually supposed to use a 17mm wrench, but you know, you gotta make use of what you got. So I use this. Pull a tensioner. Once you get the right sequence down there, you come up here, you pull a tensioner, and you just line it up on the alternator. That's the last piece. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go underneath, make sure that, and it's very imperative because your belt would spit up like a newborn baby. It's imperative that you make sure that if you have the double-sided grooved belt, even if you don't, even if it's just the one side with the grooves, you want to make sure that the grooves line up, because if the grooves don't line up, then you just wasted that time putting on this belt, because you're going to be doing 40 on wherever you're going, and the shit is just going to spit out like a piece of steel gum. Like you don't want to lose it, you know. Then the battery light comes up, then you end up situation that I was in, hence the reason me going through all of this now. So yeah, just make sure everything is lined up, all the grooves on the pulley and the belt, it's sitting good, and you'll be set. Those of you who was wondering what I was talking about with that horrible power steering fluid, this is what you should be using if you have a German vehicle. It smells like underarms, like really bad underarms, but hey, that's what they call It's what the car calls for, sorry. So, yeah, you just want to fill it up, bleed the system. Make sure you don't, to bleed it, you basically just top it off. And you just leave it running until you stop seeing bubbles. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry you guys didn't get to see the old one coming off so much, because it wasn't really planned. But yeah, that's all for today. Stay tuned for the next video. Let me know what I could do better. I could pour better, that much I know. This shit is expensive. You do not want to just be mispouring this shit. This shit is like $16 a bottle at AutoZone. They have one that's you get online from FCP or ECS, but who the fuck wants to wait? Can't just, yeah, so once you top it off, start it up, let that pump get all of that new fluid. I'm gonna need more, so that's $16 that I'm just gonna have to spend. Yeah, I'm gonna need more, so I'm gonna go grab more, and that's it. Well, if you guys made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you. You guys watch, I don't know if you learned. I hope you learned. But, like, comment, subscribe. It's the first video. Let me know what you guys want to see next. And we just going to run it up.